All right, let's see. Are we live here? We're good to go. All right, cool. Yeah. Um don't even know where to start with that one. Don't even know where to start. That was a crazy, crazy match. Um, all right, let's start with some stats. Let's start with some stats. All right. 56% ball possession Manchester United, 25 shots for United, 14 for Bournemouth. Um 9 shots on target for United, 9 shots on target for Bournemouth. 10 block shots, Manchester United, 18 shots inside the box, 9 for Bournemouth. Um, 47 touches in opposition box for Manchester United. Wow. Anyway, look, goals. I mean, Amad Diallo started out the goal scoring. Then Semenyo tied it up, right? Then Casemiro with the header. Um, to get us into the halftime, right? 2-1. Evan Nilsson comes out second half. I don't know what he had at halftime, what happened at halftime, but it must have been some heck of team talks going on at halftime. Evan Nilsson comes out, scores in the 46th minute. Then Tavernier scores with an amazing free kick. Although you could say that Lamens maybe should have been lined up a little more to his right since his wall was to his left. But still a great free kick. Take nothing away from that from Tavernier. And then Bruno, tied us up, right? Spared our blushes a little bit here. And then Cunha comes in, does his thing, scores a little dance at the end, you know what I mean? And then Krupi, this teenager apparently, comes in and scores 84th minute. I mean, insane goals. Like just insane number of goals for a match. Uh 4 apiece. That was wild. That was absolutely wild. Um, Give me a minute here. Let me put this out here on X just in case other people want to jump in here. I'm gonna keep this one short, so won't get too crazy. Probably won't have a ton of people join, but we'll do this anyway really quickly here. Let me just put this out here. Post. Boom. Here we go. Um, Let me go back to my screen. So yeah, so crazy, crazy match. I had a couple notes that I made. So first half we came out smoking. We looked like a vintage Manchester United side. Um, I mean, we looked like we were gonna win 4-0, right? The way we came out. Bournemouth were defending for their lives for the most part. We had plenty of shots. Like I said, should have had 3 goals probably in the first half, maybe even 4. So it was a good tap in from Ahmad. But then Iriola made some changes, right? He did what good managers do. I think he's a good manager, despite Bournemouth's place. He's a good manager. I mean, I honestly, you know, I'm not gonna get into the Amram out stuff tonight, but honestly, he's one of the guys that I was like, look, I'd like to see Iriola come in if Amram goes. I still like to see him come in if Amram goes. But anyway, Iriola showed some good in-game management and changed things. Um, and then Bournemouth, they got their goal, right? Now, one thing that drives me nuts, right, is like I don't know why when our players get outside, get around the box, they take up these poor square positions with the teammates, right? Like, and look, I know we scored a bunch of goals tonight, the most we scored in a while, but like, if you look back, especially in the first half and other games, our players take up these square positions around the box, right? So it's a square pass, square pass, square pass, and I get it, right? But like, that pass really shouldn't be a square pass. The person, if someone has the ball and I'm a little more central to the goal, I should be like a half step back. I shouldn't be perfectly square with them. I should be a half step back. That buys me that half second to get that shot off, right? I know you guys probably talking like thinking like, oh, what is American about football? Like, yes, I played. I scored a lot of goals when I played. I will, I will toot my own horn about that. And one of the things, just little movements like that in the box. And yes, I know these guys are way better than I am, better than I ever was. But like, I don't know why they continue to make that mistake. I don't know if they're not on the same page or not. But like, it's like just that little half step back, right? Like they shouldn't be squared to each other around the box. Be a half step back so you can get that shot off, have that extra moment to get the shot off, right? Because we had a lot of block shots. You saw we had what like 10 block shots outside of the and around the box, whatever. But anyway, that was just my complaint on that one. The Casemiro was good header from him, right? Did you notice that little block from Euro? That little block that Euro did, that was very clever, very smart, and it paid off. It got Casemiro free. If you saw Casemiro was kind of jockeying for position, Euro threw his body in the way. He set a pick like an American basketball, and Casemiro got the header off and into the back of the net. So that was good right there. But then second half, you know, defensive lapses again, right? What's his name comes out and scores super early, 46 minute, right? So we switched off defensively. And then like I said, that Tavernier free kick, I mean, that was beautiful. Like I said, Lemens probably should have been more to his right, but that was a beautiful free kick. And then Manu came on, right? So let's talk about Kobe Manu. How do you think Kobe Manu played? I think I think Kobe Manu did well for barely getting any minutes, being all over the media, this and that, blah blah blah. Negative stuff said about him. Not the greatest comments from the manager about him. I think he came on and did well. I think he came on and did well. All that said, and I mean, to me, he shows he should be getting more minutes. I mean, I think you and I both know that already, but I mean, he just did it just now. Like he showed he should be getting minutes. He made defensive stops. He got forward. I personally still don't think his best role is center mid. I think he's better at a 10. But I mean, but he held it down in the midfield. He did well. And so there's no reason, again, he shouldn't be getting minutes. We can come back to Kobe Manu in a little bit here. I'm just going through the rest of the match. Cunha too, right? So Cunha made some really good passes this match. Made some killer passes and carried the ball well, especially towards the end. I think there was like four Bournemouth players around him. He did some step over, flicked it into space, and got onto it, right? But like, I don't know where he fits in exactly. Um, there were a couple times where I think if maybe a Sheshko or someone else, a striker was up front, we would have scored a couple goals. But Cunha was there, and he didn't quite have that striker's like instinct mentality. And so I think we let a couple goals go begging, a couple chances go begging because of that. Um, and I think Mount is a better number 10 at the moment. So like it's kind of hard to figure out how to fit Acuna, a Mount, and Mbumo on the same pitch. I mean, yes, Cunha's being shunted up front, but then you got Sheshko and Xerxes, and Xerxes to me is a 10 2, kind of not 10 and a half, 9.5, whatever. Anyway, I'm not gonna get too far in that again, but just another thing there. But anyway, he scored his goal. He did well. He scored his goal, and that's the thing. He's kind of like that maverick on the pitch, right? It's like I said, he'll play some killer passes. He'll have some great hold up play, or he'll somehow emerge with the ball from a pack, um, and then he'll pop up with a goal here and there. So it's like, what do you do with him, right? Where do you put him? Um, and then of course Leach came on 69th minute for Euro. Shesko on from Mount. Cunha dropped back into the 10 role. Now, with Shesko coming on again, rusty, right, coming off of injuries. Um, it was all right. It was all right when he came on. Um, like I said, I can't really say too much about him. He was a sub, and he's coming off an injury, so he came on and did all right. Did all right. Um, and Bumo's 70th minute fired over the top. I thought that was going to be the thing that put the game to bed, but it wasn't. I mean, this game had more to come. Like Sir Bruno's beautiful free kick. Cunha had a nice finish, but then again, defensive frailties cost us, and Bournemouth got their fourth. I thought we are gonna have a fifth, right? So Cunha did great work to try and create that fifth. Again, that was the part where he had those four Bournemouth players on him, and he did a step over and flicked it forward and ran onto it. Um, but then he got it to Bruno. Bruno put a cross in, and I wish that Sheshko had used those long legs of his and thrown his legs at it. I think that would have been goal number 5, and I think that would have won us the match. I think it would have. But Sheshko, I think, again, a little rusty from being out injured, didn't throw himself at it. And so, on we played, right? On we played. But like, Cunha did a really good job there. I'm going to ask you in a minute who you think your man, or who's your man of the match. I'll ask you that. So go ahead and start thinking about that one. And then Xerxes came on, from Bumo. Dorgu came on for Shaw or whatever. And then Lamens had a hell of a save, but he rolled back. He had us seeing David De Gea with that kick save that Lamens had towards the end of the match there. So yeah, let me put it in the chat too. Who was your player of the match? I know I probably sound like I'm out of breath, because I mean I was out of breath watching that game. Like I was just like here, there, and everywhere, and just all over the freaking place. And I was tweeting too, by the way. Right here on my X account, or my Twitter account, whatever it's called now, Brightmart UTD. But let me put the poll. Let me put the question in the chat. Who was your player of the match and why. All right, so I'll put that one in the chat. I'll pin it there so you guys can hop on that and let me know who your player of the match was and why. My player of the match probably goes to Bruno. I think it goes to Bruno. I mean, there's definitely players who get a shout, and Bruno gets a shout, Cunha gets a shout, even Mountain gets a shout. Um, but I would say my player of the match was Bruno. I mean, kept playing. The guy got knocked in the head a couple times and got up and kept getting on with it. Nice free kick, had some nice key passes and things. Was up and down the pitch, doing it everywhere. So yeah, yeah, I think he gets my player of the match. Definitely not anyone across the back line because I mean conceding 4 goals isn't exactly a player of the match worthy now, is it? Um, so yeah, I would say I would give it to Bruno. Bruno's my player of the match, and that's why, like I said, the free kick, just a consistent play up and down the pitch. Yes, he hits his Hollywood passes, but I mean like they come off when they come off. Um, let me see. Yeah, so Bruno is my guy. I want to see who SofaScore gave it to. Let me see if they still have it up. Yeah, yeah, they gave Bruno an 8.8. So they agree with me there. Diallo, Ahmad, jeez, can't get it out, had 8.3. Diallo had 7.3. Cunha had 7.6. So yeah, yeah. I again, Bruno, my guy of the match, my player of the match. I think he did it for us. Um, I mean, let me see what that does to us for the table. Let me see. Standings. Here we go. All right, so that puts us in sixth place at the moment on 26 points, 10 points off the lead, off of Arsenal. So Arsenal have 36. They're in first. City have 16. Play 16. Sorry, they're in 30. They got 34 points, second place. Aston Villa third place, 33 points. Chelsea fourth place, 28 points. Palace and United and Liverpool and Sunderland all tied with 26 points in fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth, respectively. So, all that to say, you know, Europe isn't out of the question, right? What was that, 2 points? Because Chelsea are in fourth with 28 points. We got 26 points. It's not out of the question. It's not out of the question. Is it time to start to believe? I mean, yes, we should have won today. So we should have I mean, we should be in Europe today, right? Technically, right? If we won that, or no, we still be tied on points with Chelsea. We'd be tied on points with Chelsea, so we would be in there basically in the mix. So like, is it time to start to believe? Is it time to believe? I mean, again, this is coming from a guy who has been Amram out, who hasn't changed and wavered on that. But at the end of the day, I want to see Manchester United do well. I want to see my team go on and win trophies and get back to the glory days that we all knew and loved. Those of us who were older. Um, And yeah, is it time to believe, right? Has this changed your stance on Aaron? That's another question too, right? Has this changed your stance? If it was something else, has this pushed you more Amram in? Has it pushed you more Amram out? Are you still on the fence? All opinions are fine, right? You're not gonna get chastised here for being Amram out, Amram in, or on the fence, whatever, right? I'm curious to hear what you think about that. And for those of you just joining, I'm curious to see what you think about Kobe Mainu, right? Kobe got pretty good minutes tonight compared to what he's been getting, right? Again, I thought he came in and did well. So let me know what you think about Kobe Mainu as well. And then again, like I got pinned there in the chat. Who's your player? Who's your player of the match? Again, my guy is Bruno. I think Bruno did his thing tonight. I've complained about him in the past. I've criticized when I thought he needed criticism, but tonight he kept playing. He kept playing. He took some knocks, took some kicks. Beautiful free kick, and he kept rolling with it. So he's my player of the match. But I'm really curious to see what you guys think because I've been yapping at you for the past almost 15 minutes now because so much energy built up from that match. I'm still just like, right, I'm still blowing off from it. So I'm gonna grab some water here and let me know what you guys think. Oh, and by the way, for those who also follow women's team, I am doing the game on Wednesday against. Is that Wednesday? Is that Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday against Juventus also. So Champions League match there for women. So covering that as well. So subscribe and like and stay tuned for that on Wednesday. Who do we have next for the men's team? Let's see. Trying to get to the schedule. Um, oh, we got Villa next. Hmm. Hmm. Is that home or what? Okay, that's at Villa Park in Birmingham, which I've been to. A little bit sketchy at times. At times. Anyway, sorry if anyone's from Birmingham. Definitely made a pit stop through there when I was driving up from London to Manchester. Um, anyway, yeah, so we've got Villa next. That should be an interesting match. Villa have been on fire as of late. They've won with all their last five matches, so that should be an interesting match. We've outscored them. We've scored 30 goals this season. Villa scored 25, but then our defense is what's let us down. They've allowed 17 goals, we've allowed 26. So our defense is what's letting us down. Because I mean, again, goals scored. Who else has scored more than us? Only Arsenal and City, and they're 1 and 2. So defensive frailties let us down, right? I mean, you saw that laid bare tonight, conceding 4 goals, right? Defensive frailties have hurt us. Have hurt us. And you would think it wouldn't, given our defensive posture, right? Three center backs, two wing backs, and that's basically five guys back. Um, so I don't know. I don't know. I mean, do you think that we need to go in the window for a defender? I don't know. Or do you think that we need to continue to focus on the center mid and maybe a more defensive minded center mid, right? Maybe we don't need an all out action center mid. Maybe we need a center mid who's more defense, but holding CDM, whatever title we call it today, six, whatever else, right? Do you think that's what we need, right? So anyway, like I said, I was gonna keep it short. I'm trying to keep it short because I could keep going and going and going. But even though if you're watching this later, get in the comments below after this video. Let me know what you think. I'll definitely respond and we can chat about it. But yeah, like I said, Bruno's my man of the match. 4-4 draw with Bournemouth. Not the result we wanted, but I mean an entertaining game, right? If you love football, you can't say that you weren't a bit entertained by that scoreline. I mean, 4-4, 8 goals, right? I wish I was at Old Trafford tonight because I mean, I've been there when we scored, but that I want to say it was that Cunha goal where like even through the TV you could just hear like the roof had come off of Old Trafford. I mean, they probably heard Old Trafford down in London, like insane noise. So anyway, I'll leave it at that. Our next match for the men's side is against Villa, and for the women's side, we're taking on Juventus in the Champions League for the women on Wednesday. So I'll be covering that one as well. And I'm gonna leave it there because again, I try and keep these short. I know you guys got things to do, but again, like, share, and subscribe, and get your comments in below, and let me know who your man of the match was and why. And I will see you on the next one. Peace.